mentioned that Matt Milano was a guy that you looked at kind of some tape of and studied and enjoyed. What was it about his game that you kind of liked and think maybe you can kind of fit into yours?
Yeah, I think really just what popped off first was his effort and his motor, and his instincts. You could tell he has a good feel for the game. He knows the defense really well, and he knows where the ball is going to be at. And that's something that I want to emulate eventually, and try to get to that level. So being in that room with him and Trey is going to be an amazing experience, and some great vets for me to learn under.
Have you talked to him at all yet tonight?
Not yet. I'm supposed to tonight, though.
I realize it's been like 12 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
What has tonight and today been like for you? Just, having the rest of last night to celebrate, getting here, seeing the facility?
Yeah, it's been crazy. After I got drafted last night, I was celebrating with my family, and I had a flight this morning at 6 a.m. So went to the airport this morning at 4, got there, flew out, went to Atlanta, and then flew all the way here to Buffalo. And been able to meet with Coach McDermott, Coach Frazier, Bobby, all the staff, support staff, and everybody's been top notch. I can't say enough good things about the people here. I feel like one thing that I knew about Buffalo was the culture and the people here, and it's been everything that everybody said it would be.
Can you take us into the workouts with Bobby? Because Brandon talked about that yesterday when Bobby came back from working you out. He said, man, this guy's going to be an immediate fit. How were you able to kind of wow him in those meetings, and what were they like?
Yeah, the meetings were good. We went over some basic installs, and we talked about some of the stuff that I did at Baylor, and I felt like I had a good gauge on what he wanted from me as a player, and I think just the understanding of football and the defense of what they wanted and what they wanted out of me, and what I could bring to the table here. And I'm just excited to get to work. These guys are, all the coaches that I've met with today have been amazing. I can't say no good things about them, and I'm really just happy and ready to get to work.
You said you were aware of the culture here. How were you aware of it?
I think just from talking to people that have visited here, talking to coaches through Zoom meetings, and then, you see it on the field. Last season, just watching, you can see, it's a team that's really connected and really close to each other. And obviously a staff that cares about their players. And, I think all of that tied together builds into the culture and, what you see, on Sundays. And, I think, like I said earlier, just hearing how people talk about the people of Buffalo and, the team, I think it really identifies, what type of culture is here already, and what I'm gonna be walking into.
How much did you pay attention to pre-draft rankings and maybe where you might go? Maybe what your agent was telling you. Did you pay much attention to that at all?
Not really. I mean, I listened to my agent about where he thought I would go, and the things that he was saying. But outside of that, I didn't really pay too much attention because I don't feel like that's really valuable. You get too high or too low on yourself. So.
And what was he telling you about what to expect?
Yeah, so he told me late third to early fourth. Pretty much the whole process leading up. Getting closer to actual draft day, he was saying that I had a good shot to go, late third, and it's just a blessing to be picked anyways, to even have the opportunity to play in the NFL. So to come to a team like Buffalo and be in this position that I'm in, I'm blessed.
How does this number one defense fit your playing style?
Yeah, I think the ability to attack offenses is definitely what stands out to me. Creating turnovers, creating negative plays. I feel like that's something that I've tried to pride myself in while I was at Baylor, and something I look forward to learning a lot about this defense and how they do things, and try to implement that into how I play.
Only as good as your last game, right? In that last game at Baylor, we saw 20 tackles, 2 sacks. What was going on in your mind that day for you to have that type of game?
Yeah, I think just the preparation. It was the Sugar Bowl where you had a little bit more time to prepare for the team, which we played Ole Miss, and I think I took a lot of time into just dissecting their offense along with, our coach's help and, everybody around. And I feel like that played a huge part into being able to be in the right spot at the right time.
You and Brandon Beat both talked a lot about your versatility. When you're needing to learn multiple things at once, how do you approach that from like a playbook perspective, or just how do you get ready for that?
Yeah, I think definitely you start with one position at first, and then once you learn that position, everything else kind of makes sense in your head. So really focusing in on one of the linebacker spots, and then kind of building your knowledge of the defense, and piecing together all the other aspects. I think that's kind of where you start at, and once you truly understand your position and what's happening around you, I feel like you get a good grasp of the whole defense.
Has there been anything about this process the last week that maybe you didn't expect would happen?
Not really. I mean, I talked to other guys that have already been through it, and they kind of sit you down and tell you about, all the things that are to come. So it's been amazing. It's been a dream come true to even just have the opportunity to play in the NFL. So like I said, I'm just blessed to be here.
He talked a lot about your leadership skills and what he heard from your coach and, some of the background stuff that they did. The one question is how your size translates to the NFL level. How did you approach the Bills, or when teams came asking, how did you talk to them and think about how you translate to the NFL level at the size you're at?
Yeah, I think the game's moving towards more of a smaller linebacker type. You see a lot of guys in the NFL now that are right at or under 230 pounds that, they have to be able to cover, you have to be able to blitz, you have to be able to, be solid in the run game. So, I feel like I fit that mold pretty well. I feel like I know I have a lot to learn, and I know, I still have, a ton of work to do. But I feel like the way the game's heading right now, I feel like it's perfect for me, and I feel like, I fit kind of into what defenses are trying to do now.
A lot of pressures. How did they use you was that mostly on blitzing? Would they, stand you up in the A gap? You didn't rush off the edge at all, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of it was off of blitzing. At Baylor, we were a very attacking style defense. So, I did blitz a lot, but also, in man coverage with the running backs, if they're in protection, you can, what we called it, hug on and go and green dog it. So, a lot of those two different types of things, I think that showed up through, those different aspects.
What do you remember about playing James Cook in the Sugar Bowl a couple of years ago?
Yeah, man, it was fun. They kind of got after us a little bit. I remember he's very dynamic. Just watching highlights and watching all the games from Georgia. Speed, elusiveness, route running ability. I think he's a complete back. I'm glad we got him. He's gonna make me better through practice, and obviously a better team, I feel like.
Did you run 4.59 at your pro day?
Yes, sir.
What is it? Baylor, the speed at Baylor. I mean, what is it amazing to you? How much? I mean, is it? What is it like being in that program with just so many track people?
Yeah, I think it starts off in recruiting. I feel like we recruited the class below, or the class above me and the class below me. Just a lot of track guys and a lot of guys that had just natural speed, and I feel like the coaches that we had at Baylor really helped transition that into being really good at football. So you see guys like Kalen Barnes and Taekwon and Petrie and Ebner, just guys like that are running super fast times that are also super good football players. I feel like it was kind of a culture thing that we had, and it's kind of what we did.
Randy, Steven said that you could be a nickel linebacker. Coverage skills, covering guys at the college level, all different kinds of guys I'm sure you line up against. What was that like, and how do you view yourself in that regard?
Yeah, I feel like I could do that as well. I was apexed outside of the box a lot at Baylor. So, covering slots, being manned on tight ends, on running backs. I feel like I've done pretty much everything coverage-wise, asked of a linebacker. So, I feel like I have the experience. Obviously, I know the talent, increases once you get to this level. So I think just, having that experience, though, is definitely helpful. So, going into my rookie year, I think, having the experience and then being able to, just improve my ability throughout this year will be good for me.
Speak with Brian Nantel, between last night and now.
Yes, sir.
Tell me
Yeah, I
about
did.
Buffalo.
I did. So I was actually, I talked to him about a week ago. I visited Texas Tech and was up there talking to him for a little while. And, we had talked about Buffalo and just, the things that were happening here and just the people and, everything that he had told me. And then last night I talked to him on the phone for a little bit. Just, he was congratulating me and, trying to show me the ropes a little bit. So it was definitely fun. Yeah, definitely.
Finish you were working on your master's. Did you finish that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I finished in December.
And what was that for?
Sport management. Thank you. Thank y'all.